Recently, I made a short and sweet Morningstar build in 30 minutes and shared it with the world. I was under the impression that even though I just threw it together, it was efficient and a good way to start any run. The community agreed, except for one person. Lulu said that Starfists and Cragblade could be the strongest possible build you can make quickly. I, however, was skeptical. There's no way you could get the Starfists from the capital, Cragblade from Caelid, and enough upgrades and buffs for this build to be fully functional in 30 minutes or less. Boy, was I wrong. This is the strongest build you can make in 30 minutes. For starting class, I recommend Vagabond for the stat distribution, but any class will do. Select any starting gift, be sure to grab the first step Grace, and go get your horse. At the gate front, you should get the whetstone knife, and grabbing the map will make this next part much easier. Your next location is all the way to the south, where there is a small gap between Limgrave and the peninsula you can jump across. Here's a beautiful guide on how to get there if you aren't familiar with it. Once you arrive, you must find the spirit spring that will get you within vision of the Church of Pilgrimage. Go ahead and grab the Grace and the Sacred Tear from there and continue southwest to the next church and all the way to the isolated merchant's shack. The Tower of Return is just southeast of the shack, and at the very top is a trap chest that will teleport you to the capital. Go ahead and sit down at the Grace and be prepared for what is known as a wrong warp. Don't worry, it's easier to do than you think. So, get ready to warp to the first step Grace, press OK, and if you're on console, go to the guide quickly and hover over the button for closing or quitting the game. The exact moment the loading screen bar fills all the way up, that is when you quit the game. For PC, just Alt F4 when the bar fills all the way up. Reopen the game, hit continue, and if this was done correctly, you will be at the East Capital Rampart. Since this is a higher level area than you should be in right now, I will guide you down to the next important Grace in the easiest possible way. Running past the bubble blowers, you want to swing left behind the big one all the way around to where the golden rune is, then jump down to the lower part, and then fall down onto this roof. From here, you can traverse the rooftops that will take you to the main road. Turn left and down the road, and where the Erdtree avatar spawns, you want to head into the little doorway where the Avenue Balcony Grace is at. After sitting at the Grace and telling Melina to go away, head down the stairs and turn right immediately. There should be a knight walking on a route here. Wait for him to turn left, walk all the way down this path, and then quickly head up the stone dragon and up the ladder. You need to be careful not to get one-shotted by the knight up here, but there is a Grace after him, which is nice. Next, you can simply run straight ahead, go underneath the big tree branch, and then up the left path to the Colosseum. The Starfists are against the wall in one of the rooms to the left outside the Colosseum. With our weapon of choice acquired, warp back to the gate front. Next, head through the gate. Turn right at the Golden Seed for 3 Smithing Stone 1s, then grab the Stormhill Shack Grace. Head northeast to where the giant is to grab the Strength Knot Crystal Tear and drop down the tombstones. To the east is the Golden Vow Knight. Kill him easily with the Starfists for Golden Vow, then head southwest to get to War Master's Shack. In the field behind the shack, get a giant to break the statue for more smithing stones, then make your way to Saint's Bridge, which is east-northeast of War Master's Shack. You can buy the rest of the smithing stone 1s you need from the merchant across the bridge to get 12 total, and then head southeast to where the Trina's lilies are between the broken structures. Here I will show you a safe way down the cliffs to where the graveyard is, collect everything there, and go down the tombstones to the Third Church of America. Grab the Grace and items and head north to the Two Spirit Springs and make your way to Rotview Balcony. Once here, you can head south like this to make your way to Fort Gale. Grab the Fort Gale North Grace, be sure it's nighttime, and wrap around the fort to pick up Flame Grant Me Strength, which can be useful for you later if you like. The reason I took you here is because there's a teleporter at the top of the fort that takes you to Redman Castle, but sadly the festival is not active yet, so it's too risky to cross the bridge at this point. Instead, we can head southeast, down into and across the Toxic Lake, and keep heading down the road until you reach Caelid Highway South. Keep following the road to the Merchant, go south to make your way to the Grace before the bridge to Redman Castle. On top of the rocks over here is the scarab that drops Cragblade, and it's super essential for this build. Once you've done all this, now you must warp back to the Third Church of Marika and head into the forest to grab the spiked cracked tear under the tree, as well as the Axe Talisman and the Smithing Stone 2 in Mistwood Ruins. Feel free to go get the Grace outside of Fort Height as well, but we are not done yet. There is still time to get more Smithing Stone 2s to reach +5 on our Starfists. Warp to the Church of Pilgrimage in the peninsula and head south along the road, across the bridge, and all the way to where you can find the Merchant at the Castle Morn Rampart Grace. Be sure to buy all the Smithing Stone 2s from him, and then warp to the isolated Merchant Shack in the south of the peninsula and buy all of them from him as well. And finally, you can go to Roundtable Hold to upgrade your stuff and put Cragblade on your Starfists. That's all you need to create this build, and it took me just under 30 minutes to make. What do we have now after 30 minutes? Well, just like with the Morningstar build, it isn't strong enough to easily beat Fire Giant, but it can do other things. Shout out to Lulu Moral. Thanks for proving me wrong. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and this time, there's no way you can make a build stronger than this in 30 minutes, right? Thanks for watching.